It's another weekend of exciting football fixtures in the English Premier League. Big games this weekend. Tottenham against Liverpool, Aston Villa against Manchester United, and so on. Also, we're getting into that part of the Premier League in which the table is beginning to take shape. Exciting fixtures await us this December. There are games piling up. Look at the game against Manchester United against Bournemouth. Look at how exciting that game was. So we're going to be getting so much of these games, this weekend and also this December, as well as preceding January to the end of the Premier League. The table is beginning to take shape. Teams are beginning to know their strengths and their weakness, as well as to preview and give the predictions of this weekend English Premier League game. Now let's start with the very, very first game of the weekend, which is another Chelsea game. Just like last week, another Chelsea, game on a Saturday afternoon, early kickoff. As well. So it's going to be Newcastle against Chelsea. So this preview, I'm going to round this up as quick as possible. Not going to spend too much time on today's preview. Chelsea against Newcastle. Now, this fixture has always been a difficult one for Chelsea. For you that understand how this game is or how it works in the Premier League, it's always been a difficult one, especially in recent time. The last time Chelsea faced Newcastle in the Premier League, Newcastle won that one and Chelsea lost that game. Nicholas Jackson was given a red card. If you remember that one very, very well. It has not been all rosy for Chelsea. It has been that game that is like a banana skin for Chelsea. Remember, Newcastle lost their last game against Nottingham Forest. Newcastle lost their last game, rather, away from home against Sunderland. And it was an own goal from Nick Voltimada. They won their game at midweek against Fulham, 2-1. That, they move to the next phase or to the semi-final of the Carabao Cup. Now, winning at home is a very good feeling. Doing it again would be a very good one. Now, they are losing players to injuries. Livramento is not 100% fit. So many players are not fit. Kraft, Dan Burn, many players are not fit currently at Newcastle right now. Why for Chelsea, they welcomed the likes of Cole Palmer, who came into the game his first full minutes, first start for Chelsea in over 3 months, and he got a goal last week against an Everton side who is also flying at this point. But let's not forget, when it comes to an away form for Chelsea, it's a problem. Chelsea away form is not as good or as better as their home form. That is a worry for Chelsea and for all Chelsea fans. It's never going to be an easy game for Chelsea, but can Chelsea ride on that confidence against Newcastle? Can Chelsea ride on that confidence after beating Everton last week? And also the whole issue concerning Maresca and leaving the club and all of that should be put to bed. Can Chelsea still put in that momentum, to go on after and beat Newcastle? That is a very big question. Now, there have been no draws in between this game in the last 5. So I'm not expecting one. It's going to be a tough one. It might still be a draw though, but it's going to be a tough one. Out of the last 4 games at that Newcastle Stadium, Chelsea have lost 3 times. So it's not going to be an easy one. These two sides, in their last 5 games in all competition, they've only won 2. So these two sides have a similar record when it comes to their current form. Newcastle have lost 1, Chelsea have lost 2 out of their last 5 in all competitions. Now, what is the away form and the home form for these two sides? I think it's been rosy. It's been very, very rosy. Newcastle have only lost 2 at home, and those 2 times are against Liverpool and Arsenal. They've won games. Just 1 draw, and that was against Spurs. They've won games at home. They've even defeated Manchester City. It's going to be a tough game for Chelsea. Chelsea away form has been very, very poor. When it comes to them going away to get results, it's not easy for Chelsea. Now, with the injuries of Newcastle be a problem for them, and we did destruct their rhythm, that is a very huge question. That is where the draw comes in. Now, Newcastle sits 13th on the log, or 11th on the log rather. Chelsea sits 4th on the log. Who's going to win this is a huge, huge problem. So my prediction for this game are 2 predictions because I'm confused We might have the first draw in over 5 games. But my first prediction is Chelsea 2, Newcastle 2, Chelsea 1. Yes, Newcastle 2, Chelsea 1. That is my first prediction. My second prediction is Newcastle 1, Chelsea 1. So I'm going to stick my head out for one of these results. And that result will be Chelsea 1, Newcastle 1. Yeah. So to the next game, Bournemouth against Burnley. For Bournemouth, at home, the last game at home was against Chelsea. They drew that match, goalless draw. But look at the fantastic results they got against Manchester United at away from home. They didn't win that game, but 4 goals away from home. Good, brilliant result for the attack. Then the defense conceding 4 goals is a major problem and a major issue for that club. Right. Now for Burnley, they were close to getting a point, but they lost that game 3-2 at Fulham, against Fulham. Now, their away form has been poor. In fact, they've lost 5 games in all competition. They have a very poor record as well as Fulham, as well as Wolves in all competition. It's going to be a very tough one. But I see a very, very tough game here for Bournemouth, though. But Bournemouth will win this game. Bournemouth has everything it takes. They have the goal scoring powers. They have everything. Semenyo is not going to the AFCON. So when it comes to winning against this Burnley side, I think they have everything. They've not won any game in the last 5 games, Bournemouth, while Burnley has lost all 5. So I think with Bournemouth losing just 1 game at home this season, I think they have that momentum at home, right, to win games. Kluivert, Junior, Semenyo, the striker, Nielsen, they have good players in that squad who could get goals. And with scoring 4 away from home at Manchester United, I think they can do it at home. So my prediction for this game is Bournemouth 3, Burnley 1. Another thing is telling me 2-1, but I stick with 3-1. I'm not going to give in to that. So the next game is Brighton against Sunderland. Sunderland has to be one of my favorite teams this season. They're doing what they're supposed to do, and they're getting results. The last match against Newcastle was a win at home. Now they're going away at Brighton. A Brighton side who have only lost 1 game at home this season, and that was against Aston Villa. Newcastle, Sunderland will not have it easy. That's for sure. They will not have it easy. Their away form has been very, very poor. Just 1 win, and that was against Nottingham Forest. So, with what goes out for them away from home, I think they can pose a threat away from home against Brighton. So, I want to give them a chance against Brighton. They have similar record in their last 5 games in all competition as well as Brighton. So my prediction for that game is a draw. 2-2 or 1-1. So I'm going to play safe. My prediction for this game is Brighton 1, Sunderland 1. Now to the next game, West Ham against Manchester City against West Ham. For Manchester City, their last game was a 3-0 victory away from home against Crystal Palace. Foden is scoring, Haaland is scoring. Perfect for them going forward. While for West Ham, they are trying to gather points bit by bit, even if it's a draw. They're trying to pick it gradually to climb up the table. They sit 18th on the log. Now, Manchester City are in a perfect run of form. 5 games straight in all competition. For West Ham, they've not won in their last 5. They've picked up 3 draws and lost 2. So they've been trying to pick up just a single point in these games. So now, I think it's going to be a tough one and a definite win. Tough one for West Ham and a definite win for Manchester City. The Premier League can surprise us, let's not forget, but I think it's going to be a win for Manchester City. They've picked up points at home. Only lost 1 game at home this season, and that was against Spurs in the first game of the season, if you remember that one. Now for West Ham, The new coach has been picking draws, 3 draws in their last 3 games. Against Bournemouth, against Manchester United, and against Brighton away from home, which to me is a decent result, So my prediction for this game is Manchester City 3, West Ham 1. Yeah, 3-1. Wolves against Brentford. Wolves, the poorest team this season, with 2 points only, situated on the log, gave Arsenal a run for their money last week, which was a very good one, which we love to see. With Brentford, their away form has been questionable. They lost their game against Manchester City at the weekend. Thiago was jumped to the bench. Damsgaard played that game. Shad played that game. So I think with their draw at home against Leeds United, I see their confidence dropping a little bit. But they are going to play against Wolves. A Wolves team that have nothing to lose. They are going to fight it out at home. The only game in which they've won, Brentford have won at home, away from home, are 2 games. 1 game rather, just 1 game against West Ham. So my prediction for this game, I see Wolves fighting for their lives with this match. I see them fighting. They've lost all 5 in all games. In the last 5 games rather. While for Brentford, they've picked up 1 win and lose 3 and draw 1. My prediction for this game is Wolves 1, Brentford 1. I see Wolves picking something out of this game. I see Wolves trying to pick up something. Now to the next game, the biggest one for the weekend. Tottenham Hotspur against Liverpool. Tottenham Hotspur, their home form is very, very poor. But they've tried in the last 2 games and pick up something. While for Liverpool, they're trying to pick up games, trying to pick up wins. In fact, they've not lost in their last 5 games in all competition, which is a very good one for me. Tottenham Hotspur needs to show something against a big side in front of their fans. Not winning against Brentford and you think that's a win and that's it. Or win again in the Champions League against a smaller side and you think it's a win. They need to do it against a big side at home. They've lost to Chelsea. They've drew against Manchester United at home. So can they win against Liverpool is a very, very huge task for them. While for Liverpool, their away form, hasn't been the best after they lost to Crystal Palace, they lost to Chelsea, they lost to Man City, they won away at West Ham, but they drew in their last away game at West Ham at Leeds United, but it was a very good 2-0 victory at home against Brighton. Now this game is a tough one for them. Can they break that jinx of winning away at Tottenham Hotspur? It's going to be tough. It's going to be very, very tough. It's going to be very, very tough. My prediction for this game is Salah has gone to the AFCON. Salah have gone to the AFCON. Ekitike has to be the one carrying this team. He's the only one scoring. And Szoboszlai. It's a tough one for me here. I don't want to say a draw. Even if I'm seeing a draw, I don't want to say that. Florian Wirtz is injured. Wow. This is a tough one for me. A very, very tough one for me. My prediction for this game is Tottenham Hotspur 1, Liverpool 2. You can still say Tottenham Hotspur 2, Liverpool 3. But I'll go with the safe one. Tottenham Hotspur 1, Liverpool 2. Now to the next game, Everton against Arsenal. Arsenal have not won in 2 away matches. The cracks are there. Everton lost their last match against Chelsea away from home. But before then, they beat Nottingham Forest 3-0 at home. In fact, they've only lost 1 game at home this season. And that was against Newcastle. No, 2 games against Newcastle and Tottenham Hotspur. Now it's Arsenal turn to go over to the Everton Stadium, their new stadium, in which they've turned to a fortress. Arsenal drew against Chelsea and lost against Aston Villa. I see a win for Arsenal. My prediction for this: Everton 0, Arsenal 1. To the next game, Leeds United against Crystal Palace. Leeds United, they are beginning to pick up themselves. They're beginning to pick up form. They're beginning to do better. Their last home game was a 3-3 draw against Liverpool. Before then, they beat Chelsea at home, which is a very good one for them. And they also went away in their last game to pick up a draw away from home. I think they are beginning to show their capacity as a club. They are going to be playing Crystal Palace, who also went away to win at Fulham in the last couple of games. And they are doing well as well. They've lost some players to the AFCON as well. But let's see if the rest can step up. So my prediction for this game is going to be a draw. My prediction is Leeds United 2, Crystal Palace 2. Or 1-1. Let's go with 2-2. Now, to the next game, Aston Villa against Manchester United, which is a very huge one. For Aston Villa, this team has been transformed. They sit third on the log, and Manchester United sits sixth on the log. Now, Manchester United home form has been poor, but their away form has not been 100% bad. Has been decent. In fact, they won their last one against Wolves, and they won the previous one against Crystal Palace. So they've been unbeaten in the last 4 away games, or 3 away games rather. For Aston Villa, a very, very compact side, good side who score goals and win games, right? Manchester United need to get away from what they've gone through in their last couple of games at home, the Everton game, the West Ham game, the game against Bournemouth, and they need to pick up victory. Now, can they do it? Absolutely. But will this happen against this Aston Villa side? I don't think so. So my prediction for this game is Aston Villa 2, Manchester United 1. Now to the last game of the weekend, Fulham against Nottingham Forest. For Nottingham Forest, it has not been the best, in the last games. But yes, they defeated Tottenham Hotspur 3-0 at home with 2 goals from Nosino-Doi, which is a good one. But they lost the last away game to Everton. So you could see the inconsistency of the team. While for Fulham, playing at home has been one of their strongest points this season. And if they are doing it very well. See the problem they gave to Manchester City, in which they lost that game 5-4. And they gave Crystal Palace a good run for their money. So they are not easy to win at home. Not easy to win at home. I see Fulham win this game. My prediction for this game is Fulham 2, Nottingham Forest 0. Share your own predictions in the comment section. Remember, betting and predictions are not always 100% correct, but my predictions are very good. So tap in, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel if you're new, hit the notification bell, share your own predictions also in the comment section. So I come your way again next time. I remain your boy Mike Way. Stay cool. Cheers.